In the fog-laden outskirts of a forgotten village, there stood an ancient chapel surrounded by whispers of dread. The locals dared not speak of it after twilight, for within its crumbling walls resided forces they could neither understand nor combat. Legend had it that the chapel was home to both restless spirits and a fearsome vampire, bound together in an unholy pact centuries ago. One blustery autumn evening, a young historian named Eliza ventured to the chapel. Driven by a desire to uncover the truth behind the legends for her latest book, she ignored the warnings muttered by the elders and pressed on through fallen leaves and eerie silence. The wind howled as she approached, carrying with it the mournful wails of the tormented. Armed with only a flashlight and an old journal, Eliza pushed open the heavy wooden doors, their grotesque carvings groaning in protest. Inside, darkness closed around her like a shroud, her flashlight casting trembling beams on the decaying pews and fractured stained glass. Whispered voices seemed to trail her steps, and shadows danced at the edge of her vision. She read aloud from the journal, piecing together the chapel's sinister history when a cold breath grazed her neck. Heart pounding, Eliza spun around to see the ghostly figure of a woman in tattered robes, her eyes hollow and full of sorrow. Silenced by fear, Eliza watched as the spirit pointed towards the altar where an ancient crypt lay sealed. Compelled by an invisible force, Eliza moved to the crypt and brushed off the cobwebs. She whispered a prayer and slid the heavy stone lid aside. Inside, not one but two skeletal remains lay interwoven, a human and what could only be a vampire, their bony hands eternally linked. Before she could react, a soundless scream erupted in her mind, and the spirits of the damned swarmed around her. She realized too late that the vampire was not truly dead, it had been dormant, waiting for the day someone would disturb its slumber. The chapel grew colder, and from the shadows, the vampire's spectral form emerged, eyes burning with an insatiable hunger. Paralyzed by terror, Eliza could only watch as it approached, fangs gleaming. The ghosts wailed in despair, unable to save her from the fate they had once suffered. The village awoke the next morning to a chilling silence. The historian was never seen again, but a new curse seemed to hang over the air. To this day, the elders warn of the haunted chapel, where the restless dead and their vampire master await the next soul foolish enough to seek them out.